Hello, it is Tuesday, November 13th, and I am Michelle Cooper. I am your Profit First professional. I am your money rock star. I am your business alchemist, and I am so thrilled to talk to you about something. I felt very inspired to come on here. I had an amazing phone call with a new client. His name's Daryl, and he's from Winnipeg. I'm not going to Winnipeg in November, but I'm really excited to be working with him in creating a profitable business. And so I wanted to share with you this story because he said to me, he's like, Michelle, I am all in. Like, I'm all in on this profit first thing. Like, just tell me what I need to do. Like, he has got some personality, let me tell you. And it was really funny because he said, we talked business and all that stuff. And then he was like, tell me a story. Tell me your biggest success story ever, right? And I'm like, okay, I got one, right? I got one. And here it is, okay? So I'm going to share this with you guys. The person it's about, I won't name, but he might know who he is because sometimes he jumps on my Facebook Lives. So, and I won't call him out if he jumps on there. So in September last year, I had a colleague. I was part of the local Chilliwack BNI chapter, and I had a referral out of that to somebody who needed some help in their business, right? Well, let me tell you, help in their business, that those words don't even cover what was going on. I sat down with this person and was like, okay, so tell me what's going on. This man, I can only describe as, and I say this with love, he was broken. Okay, he had a business and he had built it to a substantial level of revenue. However, he had no money to pay himself. He was stressed. He didn't know if he was going to be able to make payroll. He didn't know if he was going to be able to pay his subcontractors. He didn't know if he was going to be able to pay his supplier accounts. He was so stressed. He was like, every week there's something else I got to pay and I never know. It's like I go to log into my bank account and I'm like, what's going to happen when I log in? What am I going to see? There's going to be nothing there. So stressed. This manifested itself out into health problems. He had started suffering with anxiety and depression. This affected his relationship with his wife, and it affected the time he spent with his kids, right? And I was like, oh, fling flang, what are we going to do here, right? This is actually serious. If I'm sitting across from somebody and they are so stressed out that they are just about to go on medication and it's affecting their wife and kids, I can't sit by and watch that happen. So what did I do? Well, I was like, it's okay. I got you. We're going to do this thing and I'm going to implement the Profit First framework into your business and everything is going to work and it's all going to be fine, right? So we did that. Today, a year later, the same man, I got a call from his wife and she said, oh my God, thank you. You gave me back my husband. His business is now profitable. We got rid of 2 people who were bleeding him dry. We cut expenses. We negotiated with software companies. We did a whole bunch of stuff, right? But at the very core, we implemented the Profit First system. So what is that? It's this, right? So back up the truck, right? Let me tell you about my own story, right? I started my business, right? So my business is, I have a whole side of my business that is bookkeeping and accounting support for entrepreneurs. I have a team of bookkeepers and accountants, and they're amazing, and they do all these, look after clients, right? Make sure they have detailed, accurate financial records of their business. I work with clients one-on-one, doing advising, consulting, coaching, CFO, all these kind of things, right? I develop strategic plans with clients. Like, I do all of that part. And I love it. It's so much fun. What I saw was that over and over and over again, I saw business owners that were stressed. I saw business owners that didn't know where the money was going to come from to pay the bills. They didn't know where they were going to get the money to pay payroll. How on earth were they going to pay the government for tax or sales tax or whatever? They were so stressed, and it was occurring all over the place. It was like a plague, right? And I was like, okay, what's going on here? Like, what is happening? Why is this happening? So I discovered two things by looking, like, to kind of digging deeper, right? I discovered the first thing was that they had a story. They had a story about money, and they carried that story forward. It came from their parents or their grandparents, or, something that happened. And out of that research, I developed Money Rockstars. And that's a course, and you can get that, and you can uncover your story and change it, make a new decision, all that stuff, right? I tested that out on me. I figured out my own story, and it was great. It was just like, well, this is a game changer. Like, all of a sudden I knew all this. I felt like I had secret information about money mindset, right? So the other thing I discovered was that they didn't have a framework for profit, like a foundational structure in their business to create profit right off the start, right? Like, baked right in. So I started reading books. I read all these different books about, like, entrepreneurs and money and financial systems. Even had one that was called Simple Numbers. Lie. No, the numbers in there were not simple. And if I couldn't figure it out, there's no way, like, somebody else who doesn't even get numbers is going to know what they were talking about. I was like, you're a liar. Throw that book away. And then I was introduced to Mike Michalowicz, right? And his book, Profit First. So what did I do? Well, I read the book. I devoured the book, right? Because I could see that the traditional approach to accounting wasn't working for business owners. And I could see that this system, which was behavioral-based cash flow management, it's not accounting, right? Accounting is kind of based on historical numbers. Not much you can do about history, right? Can't change it. The Profit First framework is behavioral-based cash flow management. And here's the thing about, like, budgeting and stuff, right? Budgeting sucks. Nobody wants to fucking budget. It's limiting, it's restrictive, it's scarcity based. It's like, you only have this much money, you can only spend this much money, and if you go over, you failed, right? Nobody wants to do that. It sucks. I hate talking about it. It's like, God. Whereas the Profit First system is about, you can spend everything that you have in your operating expenses account. Spend it all down to the last penny, because there's more coming. There's more coming. There's always more coming, right? Spend it all. Doesn't matter, right? But we've made some allocations, right? We've allocated for profit. We've allocated for tax. We've allocated for operating expenses. So spend it all. I'm not going to restrict you in that whatsoever, right? So here's what happened. I implemented the framework into my own business because, like I said, I got to try it out, right? I always test things in my own business, just like I did Money Rockstars, just like I've done with my program Manifest. I always try it out in my own business. What I offer for sale out there in the world is something that I have personally done always. What I saw by implementing this was that the shift in my own business cash flow was substantial. Suddenly, I even wasn't worried about whether I was going to have enough money, right? I ended up in this very synchronistic experience, I ended up talking to Mike McAlevitz and his managing director, Ron. And we were talking about their mission to eradicate entrepreneurial poverty. And I was telling them about how this system changed my business and how I was trying to implement it in some of my clients' businesses. And I was invited into a mentorship with Mike and Ron, and I became a Profit First professional. Now, what is that? Because maybe that's nothing, right? Well, I can tell you it's a lot. It's many, many, many hours of education. It's deep dive into the theory of and the behavioral psychology of the system. It's case analysis and it's exams. Right. So as part of this process, I had to take 3 clients and convert them into Profit First. I chose a service-based business, a product-based business, and a hybrid of a service and product. Right. I was trying to prove this system wrong. There must be a flaw or something, right? Like, it worked for me, but like, let's see if it works in product-based business. Let's see if it works in hybrid. What happens? Well, what I realized, what unfolded, was that the stress that the entrepreneurs, my clients, the business owners, were feeling about where the money was coming was gone. The business became profitable. The business owners paid themselves regularly, and they always had money to meet their government remittances. So this is a significant shift, right? And really, I can't tell you, right, Eric? It does work. So Eric is one of my clients in the Profit First system. And I was kind of blown away by what I saw happen, right? I began to offer this out to other clients, right? Because I had my business that it worked in and 3 others that it worked. I had like 100%, 4 out of 4 success rate. So I started offering this as a done for you service. Well, it's quite in depth, really, when I'm going to do it for you. And so there's a chunky price tag on that. And for a lot of clients, this was beyond their budget. They already didn't have any money. So how, like, the nerve of you, Michelle, that you're going to like say, oh, I can rescue you, but it's going to cost you this chunk of cash, right? I get that, right? It's like luring people with this little pot of gold over here and saying, oh, but you can come over here and join us in the land of money, but it's going to cost you some money. And you don't have that, so you don't get to do that, right? And that felt really crappy. What I did have was several clients who came to me and said, if we pool together as a group and we were to pay you this fee, would you do this for us? And we'll just go through it as a little group, right? And I was like, I don't know. That feels kind of weird. And business, financials, and money in a group, in my experience, hasn't totally worked in the past. I'm not sure. But what I did realize is that I could put my implementation process into a system, into a structure. I could basically pull it into 2 step-by-step workbooks. I could provide some support. I could provide some analysis. I could provide like a community, right? Like a Facebook community of other people who are going through the same thing. That you don't have to offer your personal details, but you can get support. And I could offer that really cheaply, right? So that's what I did. I offered that for $297, right? That has been a game changer for some people. That has been, I wanted to offer something that was a no-brainer. That was, it was like, I want to make more money in my business. I want to have more money to pay myself. It's going to cost me $300. I'm all in. The reason it's not free is because when people don't invest in their own growth, they don't value their growth, and they won't do the work. And of course, it costs me a lot of money to mentor and be a profit first professional. So it helps me absorb some of those costs in my business because I want my business to be profitable as well, right? So what I'm doing, if you want to buy the Profit First kit, you can do that, no problem. It's going to start on Saturday. You can buy it anytime up until Saturday. You're going to get everything you need, including the core chapters, which is like the Cole's Notes version of the book. And yeah, like it'll start Saturday. You'll get it all. And you'll be, we'll do all the things we normally do when we buy something online, the Facebook group, and this and that. However, what I am going to offer everyone is a mini workshop, like a webinar-based kind of mini workshop on building a profitable business on Friday at 12:30 PST. So that's the link I posted here. And that is something that if you're interested, if this has piqued your interest and you're not aware of Profit First, then you definitely should be there. If you're already aware of this, you might want to come anyways. If you're already aware of this, you could just buy the course and we can get started. But this really could be a game changer for you. And it's like I have jumped on the train of this eradicating entrepreneurial poverty. I am so fed up of meeting clients who don't have enough money, of meeting clients who have run into some kind of crazy issue with either bankruptcy, owing money to the government. Like it's like a plague right out there. And I am committed to stopping that. I am committed to, along with Mike and Ron, I am committed to eradicating entrepreneurial poverty in our world because it doesn't need to exist. I would love to do that with you. So come join me on Friday at 12:30 or just sign up and let's get started on Saturday, because Saturday could be the first day of your profitable business.